All right, I think so. The recording has started. So, welcome everyone to week 3 of this course on programming with Python. I'm sorry that I had to conduct this session today on a Saturday instead of Monday. So, Monday I will not be available. Instead of Monday, we are having this session now. And ideally, I won't like to work on a weekend and won't like to call a class on a Saturday. So, I apologize for that. We will discuss some programming assignments today. So in last week, we saw some snippets of code and we analyzed how to understand the behavior of Python code. Today, we're going to see how to perform some small tasks using Python. Okay. But before that, any questions on the quiz 2 and quiz 1, whose submission deadline is already over? So any doubts in quiz 2 and quiz 1?
Sir, in assignment to last question, doubt, sir.
Sir, can you explain assignment questions from week 2?
This question?
No.
So are you referring to this fourth question, the value of list 1?
Sir, I have doubt in that question, sir.
Okay, this is Arun. Yes, go ahead, Arun. What is your doubt?
Sir, I'm Surya, sir.
Oh, okay, fine. Surya, go ahead.
So I have so according to the function, I have changed the value of list one because they are slicing the values of the list. So it need to be changed. Then I submitted the answer. It came wrong. I don't know how.
So what is your answer?
Uh, Wait a minute, sir. From the first index to the second index, it will be changed, sir. To the 34, 23, 91, 78, 23, 91, 42.
So according to this feedback, I can see that this is the accepted answer. Is this the answer that you have submitted?
Yes, sir, but it came wrong. I have typed the answer is list 1 equal to the content of the list.
Okay. So you should only write the content of the list.
So my understanding was correct. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. So
Okay,
do
sir.
one
Okay.
thing. So you have been given a 0 in this
Yes, sir.
question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what has happened, I think, is that they have used some verifier, automatic verifier, and in the verifier they have used string matching to check which string is correct,
They
which
have
string is.
given only one condition. They have given the automatic verifier as a one condition. If it
Yes.
is the particular answer, okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now I understand.
So you write an email. You write an
Okay, sir.
email. I am not able to change anything as far as the course is concerned. I'm not. My responsibility is limited to conducting doubt clearance sessions, problem solving sessions. I think you are correct. So because this is the first time you are submitting, I think you can write an email to NPTEL and give your details, and they
Okay,
can manually give you a positive score.
okay, sir. To which email, sir?
I do not know. Is there an email which is shared with you, all of you?
No, sir.
So how do you contact NPTEL? There is no way to contact NPTEL. So
Sir,
let's do one thing.
can we contact via the feedback form?
No, no, you do one thing. You go to the Q&A.
Okay,
So
sir.
there is this Q&A, right? We'll go there. Uh, where is the Q&A? Just a second. Yeah. So this is a Q&A option here. You click on Q&A and raise this issue. Okay. Here you can raise this issue and somebody will answer, I believe.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sai Charan, go ahead. You have a question, otherwise keep yourself muted. Sai Charan. All right, thank you.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, in my assignment 3, I'm facing issues on presentation errors, sir.
Assignment 3. Okay. What is the issue you are facing?
The test case is not passed with the private test case, sir.
Let me check. So which question you are facing the issue?
For all the 3 questions, I am not passed in the private test case, sir.
So okay. So some of the test cases are sample test cases and some of the test cases are hidden. So for hidden test cases, you are not able to get an acceptance.
Yes, sir.
But for these sample test cases, your output is matching.
Yes, sir. It is showing nine cases are all passed.
Okay. So that means there is some issue. I believe that there is some issue with your code. Maybe you are not able to generate the correct output. So try for some time. What is the deadline? Let me check the deadline. So the deadline is like 5 days from now. Um, so if you still face the issue, you again post it in the Q&A forum. Because I believe that since you are able to run this program on the sample test cases and generate the correct output, I think there is some logical issue in the program.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So anybody has any other doubts?
Sir, I do not know how to solve the matrix-based questions in assignment 3.
Okay. So you're talking about this question. This we'll see today. So
Okay,
we'll see one matrix based question.
okay.
And yeah,
Thank you, sir.
from the previous offering, yeah, so okay, so quiz 2, which you have already submitted, there was one issue that Surya was facing. So every uh, so here it is written, for example, this question, this is expecting that your answer should be a number. So he just puts that number. Here, the expectation is consider the following lines of code. Yeah, here you will just choose. So do not put anything other than the necessary. Okay, so for example, in the last question, the expectation was to just put what is the content, what is the value of list one. So you just write that, okay, because there is automatic evaluation and humans are not involved. So anybody was not able to answer or anybody has any doubts on why the accepted answers are like this in any of these 4 questions?
Sir,
Sir, I
excuse me,
have
sir.
doubt in second question, sir.
Okay, Venkat.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is your doubt, Venkat?
Sir, here W of 1 is equal to 357.
Okay,
I have doubt in the sir. A third statement U is equal to X is given, no sir. A third
sorry,
line
third line, yes,
and fourth line W equal to Y. Yes, no sir.
yes, yes,
While in fifth line they are changing the W of 1 is equal to 357,
yes,
but it is changing in Y also, sir. They have given answer that
yes, yes, yes. So because
it should not happen like that, no sir. Because
mm, okay, go ahead.
it is it will evaluate line by line, no sir. After initialization W equal to Y, Then
Okay.
we are changing the W of 1 is equal to 357. Y should not be changed.
Okay.
Here
So I
Y
think
also get changing.
yeah. So I think you did not understand last class when we discussed pass by value and pass by reference. So what is happening here is that since we are executing this line, uh, so W1 is 357, and that is also causing change to Y. No, no. Yeah, what is your doubt? So yeah, so
Yes,
you
sir,
have
same now.
yes, so you're saying Y
It
is
should be
Y1
option 2.
357. Y1 should be
Ah,
uh
357. Why it
so
should be? I am asking.
but accepted answer is Y1 is 43. That is your doubt.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me do it one by one. So X is a list that contains these elements. Y is see, this is slicing, so I is making a separate copy of x2 onwards. So these two things, king, comma 43. U is not making a copy of x, U is simply referring to x. So if there is a change in x, that will also reflect in y. Okay. W is just referring to y. So whatever is the memory location of y, W is referring to that. So again, then there is a slicing in W. Okay. So now once there is a slicing in W, so a new copy of W has been made because there is a slicing. So after that, after the slicing is made, then W1 is modified to 357. So that modification will only affect W, okay, and not Y. And after
Okay,
that, there is this thing. This is slicing, so this is going to affect. So W1 is 357 is clear. So what should be Y1? So Y was initially second thing onwards for king and 43. Okay, yes. So that did not change. So Y and W are separate things because of these lines. So the Y1 remains 43. So you have to understand that this slicing has generated a new copy of W. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So this we had seen, no? I think you were not in the last class. Did you attend my last session?
no, sir. Actually, I am in college at last session for your class.
Okay. So let's do all these things. And after that, we print Y1. And I'm going to hit run. It's 40. So you understand that why this is happening. So we had discussed it in length that if you do slicing, then a new copy is generated. And if you just simply copy, then the same copy is referenced. That's called reference, and the other one is value. Okay. So I think now you have understood what was going on.
Okay. While we are keeping the u equal to x, we are only referring. It
Yes,
is
yes.
called by
No, no, no.
value, sir.
In this case, oh, sorry. So when you do a thing like this, so the same memory location is referred by both the variables, by both x and u. In this case, you are saying set u to be x. Now, whatever changes happens to x also affects u. But when you are here, so when you are slicing, when slicing, a new copy is generated. The new copy of w itself is generated in this case.
Okay, sir. Understood. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Sir, I have another doubt on the third question, sir. So I have submitted the value for the second, it- the same value as PEOATL. I have simply entered the answer,
Okay.
but it came wrong.
So as per this feedback, I can see that the correct answer is this.
Yes, sir. I
P.
have written the same answer there, sir, in the box, but just the answer PEOATL. I have wrote just that answer, but it came wrong after verifying.
What is the correct answer? I don't know. So what is the anybody who has correctly answered this question?
Correct answer is POATL, but we should be keep
The
inverted
use is
commas. Answer should be in
It
inverted
was
commas.
confused within the double quote.
someone
Okay,
had
okay.
used a space inside the comma also. That's why they may face wrong.
Okay, so this is actually problematic. I would also accept an answer without the quotes. So what you were saying is that only if you write this string within quotes, then they're accepting. But personally, I will also accept without the quotes so that you understood that how this loop has functioned. The idea is to evaluate whether you understood what this loop is going to do. So you write an email or rather put it in the Q&A that such a thing has happened to you. So I think this should also be reevaluated and you should get a positive score here.
Sir, actually the
I
instruction it was told that whenever there is a string, you have to put it in the string. I think because of that probably.
Okay, so where was
It
this
was in the
instruction?
instruction above,
At the
in the
starting,
beginning.
in the beginning, they had told to.
Oh, I see. So note if the question asks about a value of type string, remember to enclose your answer in singular double. Okay, in that case, it is pretty much clear. There is no ambiguity. So that's why they could not answer give you any score. So thanks for pointing out, Antika, and whoever else
sir,
I did not
sir,
note.
sir, but
Sudhanshu, okay.
can I write an email for the fourth question, so sir?
Definitely. So the fourth question, your issue was that you wrote list equals to something.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So because this is a first occurrence, I would also suggest that you write an email for this third question also. You say that because it's a first submission, you request for an exemption first time.
Okay, sir.
All right. Anything else on this quiz?
No, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So we'll start with the session. So I will let you read the question. So we are going to solve the first question. We are going to solve three questions, one at a time. So you can spend some time reading the question. Okay, so now I will explain the question. So you are given a list L. Okay, so your objective is to write a function contracting that takes this list L as a parameter. Okay, and this function should return true if the absolute difference between each adjacent pair of elements strictly decreases. So they're showing that if you pass this string, this list 9, 2, 7, 3, 1, then it should return true. So let us see. So let's call it week 3, question 1. So this is week 3, Q1. So you have this list. So let's make it a comment. So we are going to take the absolute difference between two adjacent numbers. So 9, comma 2 is adjacent, right? So what is the difference between 9 and 2? So 9 minus 2 is 7. That's the first absolute difference. Second pair is 2, comma 7. So we'll take 2 minus 7, but we are going to take absolute. So absolute I'm going to denote within vertical parts. So what is 2 minus 7 absolute? 2 minus 7 is minus
5,
5. We are
sir.
taking 5. Yes. We're just making it positive. So what is the next pair, adjacent pair? 7, comma 3. So I'll
7
take
minus 3.
correct. So you understand what is going on. The next one is 3 and 1. So 3 minus 1
minus
is 2.
1.
Okay, but I'm going to take absolute. So remember that we are not taking uh, simple difference, we are taking absolute difference. So therefore 2 minus 7 should be 5. Now we are looking at the differences. So first absolute difference is 7, second one is 5, then there is 4, then there is 2. So the absolute differences are decreasing. So if you look at the absolute differences, 7 is smaller than, sorry, 7 is greater than 5, is greater than 4, is greater than 2. So in this case, I realize that the absolute differences are decreasing. So such a thing, I will refer to such a thing as contraction. So I will say that this is called contraction. Okay. Now you have to define a function. What is the name of the function you have to define? Contracting is the name of the function. Okay. And what does it take? It takes a least. Okay. So and then we'll go back to the question again. So we'll read this again. So it should return true. If okay, so we'll also see an example where it returns false. Let's look at this example. So for this example, this set of numbers, they should return false. Okay, I'll also write this so that everything is clear. So in this case, what are the pairwise absolute differences? -2, -3, that is 5. Then we have 3 minus 7, that is 4. Then we have 7 minus 2, that is 5. That's the problem. So 5 followed by 4 followed by 5. After that, we need not check anything. So we should immediately return that this is false. Sajja Divya Bharati, where we find, I didn't get the question. What is the question? Let me check. So there is a question where we find these questions from NPTEL. We cannot find this question from NPTEL because this was given as assignments in the previous offering of the course. So you find it here itself. I am offering it to you. So you cannot get it otherwise. Okay. So 7 minus 2 is 5. So at this point, we realize that this pattern of differences is not strictly decreasing. So at this point, we'll return false. So this is false. We don't have to do anything else. Okay. So now you tell me, no, before anything else, I will, so I will let you think how this function should be defined. And then first, let me define a list. So I'll call it my list. Let me give this first one first. This is my list. And I am going to call this function contracting with my list. Okay. So in fact, I will print it whether it is true or false. So this is what I'm going to do. So far, so good. So you have to tell me that how we should go about writing this function. You give it a thought. Is the question clear?
Sir, the differences should be stored in an array. After that, we have to compare the one by one. Is there
Okay.
in
We
descending
can
order?
use absolute function, and if I2 minus I1 in the range of uh, length from 1 to L,
Yes.
we can get that either if it is true, then it will return true. We can compare them.
Okay. So let us start with the base case. That is the simplest case. Okay. So what if somebody gives you an array or list? So if my list is very small, it is only one number. Okay, let us say there is only one number. Then what should the function return?
Sir, false.
Okay. So it is up to you. So you can think that, okay, this is true. For example, if there are two numbers, then what will you return?
Sir, we need at least 3
There should be more
elements.
than one pair.
Yes. So for as far as the question is concerned, we need more than one pair. So two numbers does not help. So we should ideally have three numbers. Okay, but we have to also take care of what is called corner cases. So I will, otherwise, if somebody gives an input which is one or two numbers only, then the program will not be able to decide what needs to be done. So the first thing I will do is I'll take care of the corner case. So I'll say if the length of the array or the length of the list is strictly less than 3, then I will return something. So let us say, so we know that if there are two numbers, 9 minus 2 is 7. So we can say that this is strictly decreasing. But if there is one number, 9 minus, there is nothing to subtract, right? So for our convention, we will set something. It is up to you what you do. So you can set true or false, whatever you like. I am setting true. All right. So this is handling. So I'll call it handling. So this is how I am handling the corner case. So you understand what I did. So far, so good. Okay. So now, as somebody has suggested, I think it was Sudhanshu or somebody, I could not catch the name of the person. So we should somehow store these differences in some array or list. Okay. So for that, we have to scan the array. So let's put the values once again. 92731, 92731. Okay. First thing is to scan the array. What is the, how do we scan an array? We have seen how to scan an array. What should I write?
Like using loops.
Yes. So I have to write a
By
loop.
using
Yeah. So I'm going to write a for loop that for I. So I is the iterator in range. What is the range? What number should I write
range.
here?
0 to length of the list.
Okay. So do I have to go to the length of the list? Do I have to go to the last number, or I can just go to the previous last number, second last number?
L, we will write
L
L.
plus
It will go to L minus 1.
Okay. So I am, if I go to length of L, okay, let us do that for your satisfaction. Then I have to keep the differences, right? So let me first, I will keep the differences in some list. So I am initializing a list. I am going to update this list one by one. So first thing is that first difference. What is the first difference? The first difference is length of L of I minus L of I plus 1. But I will take absolute difference. So I will use this keyword ABS. This is for absolute difference. All right. So what happens when I becomes the length? So in this case, what is the length of this list? 5. So this range will give us the following values of I. It will be I equals to 1, 2,
Up
3.
to 4 it will be given.
Okay. So what happens when I is equal to 4? Then there will be a situation when I'm asking for L of 5, but L of 5 does not exist. So I will face an error. So I should not go till length of the L. I will go one less. All right. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Length plus 1 we should.
Okay. So you want to go till length plus 1?
Yes.
Okay. So if you go there, then for this array, what will be the values of I that this loop will run on? Till 5. What is the length of? Okay. So length of L is 5. So it will go till, uh, yeah, fine. It will go till 5. Is that
Okay,
right?
sorry.
So Divya Bharati, do you have a question or anything to ask? Okay, thank you.
No, sir. No.
All right, all right. Thank you. Keep yourself muted. So if I go till 5, there is a problem, right? Because I will be accessing L of 6, which does not exist. Is that right?
Length of L minus 1.
Okay. So length of L minus 1 will let me run this loop for values of I starting from 0 till 3. Okay. Then I will be able to capture how many differences? 4 differences. So if the length of the array is 10, then how many pairwise differences will be there?
9.
Yes. So one less. So in this
Nine.
case, I have to run the loop one less time. So length of the L minus 1 times I should write. That is the idea. So now with only this loop, I have been able to store the different absolute differences between pairs in this list. Okay. So that part is done. What is the second part? The second part is I have to check that these differences are contracting. I have to check. So right now, after this, what I have to do is, so I have to check at this point, check if the diff array is decreasing. This check I have to do. So okay. So now what shall I do?
Sir, again we have to use a for loop with the if condition for the difference list part, so that we can check if the first and the zeroth position and the first position of the difference list is decreasing, and then we can use that as in a loop. If
Okay.
it is not decreasing, we can return false.
Okay.
We can also use while j in list difference. If j is smaller than j plus 1, it will do the same.
Correct. Correct. Both of you are correct. So there is some message in the chat box. I will check it. Harin is saying pairs of combination is done in abs. So abs is what is abs doing? So abs takes the absolute value. So I am checking the pairwise differences. What is Li minus Li plus 1 or the other way? If you like, you can do it this way also. Li plus 1 minus Li, if you think that is more natural to you. And you then take the absolute difference. That's what abs is doing. All right, Harini? Okay. So now, as suggested by both of you, Sudhanshu, I think, Sudhanshu and Surya, we will take a loop, either a while loop or a for loop. So in that loop, we will check that whether the differences are decreasing or not. Okay, so the simplest thing is just to take another for loop for I in range. So how many times I should check So now I'll check length of what? The diffs array. Okay. But again, do I go till the end of diffs? We'll see that. We'll see that. But let me write what we will check. So we will check. We have an if condition. Okay. So what is the if condition? We'll check that if diff of the previous thing, the previous difference, if it is greater than the next difference, then we are cool. Then that means that the differences are going down. Okay, but since see, we have to check the next one. So uh, if I run this loop like this, then what are the possible values of I? See, length of diffs is how much in this case?
4.
There are 4 differences. So I will go till 3, but that's a problem. Then at this position, when I is equal to 3, I am asking for diffs of 4, which does not exist. So therefore, I should go till length of diffs minus 1. Okay, like previous argument. So now I am checking that if the previous difference is more than the next difference, if that is the case, then what I will do, then I have nothing to do. I'll be happy. Okay. But what is concerning for me? My concern is if at any point the previous difference is less than the next difference, then I will be concerned and say, I'll say that this function should return false because the absolute differences are not contracting. So if it happens at any point, then I will return false. I don't have to say anything else. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you think about it for some time. I'll let you think about it. Then we'll proceed. But if it so happens that all these conditions are failed, then we have to return true. Then we come outside of the loop. And what do we return? We return that, okay, this is a contracting list of numbers. All right. So this is the entire description of the function. Sir, any pre-built function or keyword is there for contract? I do not know if it is there, but your job is to write a program that does not use these pre-built functions. Okay. So now we will run this and see if it works. So any doubts on the function?
No, sir.
Okay. So fingers crossed. We have the list. We are going to run this function. Let us see. Okay, there is an issue. There's an out of range issue in line number 11. Okay. So such issues will happen and we have to fix these issues. So in line number 11, what has happened? There's out of range thing. So we are moving from I to range of length of L minus 1 and we are checking till I plus 1. We are not accessing anything beyond I plus 1, but still there is a uh, assignment which is out of range. Index is out of range. Why is that? So this is part of programming. So errors will happen. We will debug them. All right. That's why I did not have ready-made programs for you. Sir, if we use 2 for loops, the time complexity will increase significantly. Okay. We'll come to that. But let us fix this issue first. So what is the issue? First, we'll print that why is it saying it's out of range. We'll print that what are the values of I. Okay, then we will understand. Yeah, yeah.
Sir,
Any?
hello.
Yes.
Sir, I think the issue is for I in range length of L minus 1 you put. So we will go for a 0. Length of L is I think 5. So I takes the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then when we line number 12, absolute value of L of 4 plus 1 will come at the last. Then it's a 5, but it's not exist,
Okay. Let us check.
I think.
So at 0, it was fine, but whenever, okay, 0 itself we have found an issue. If say, oh, okay. So yeah, so we're not able to access diffs. That is the problem. Yeah, so we have to tell that diffs. So see, the problem is, so we have said that look, we have initialized an array, and this array is an empty array. Therefore, we are not able to do. Issue is on the left hand side of the equality, not the right hand side of the equality. Okay. So okay, so let's do one thing. See, I was able to print only 0, nothing beyond 0. So that means the issue is not because we are exceeding the length of L. It's because we are exceeding the length of dips. Okay. So how shall we fix it?
Sir, what if we remove that I inside the bracket? We can simply put diffs.
So there is another suggestion by another person. So you are suggesting diffs. There's another person. What is suggesting? Sir, any pre-built function? No. Append. Yes. Yeah. So we have to append. That is the point. We will try this. So diffs is a list. We will append means we'll put the next thing in diffs. Okay, we'll try this and then we will try what you said. See, it works. Okay, so take a moment to understand what has happened. Okay. Yeah. So somebody is saying something. Sir, are the recorded lectures of this session available in the NPTEL site? Because I have some internet issues. Yes, they're available in internet as well as YouTube. Thank you, Abhinav. So do you understand what has just happened? So you have a list which is dips. So this is something of a lesson for us that we defined a list. That list's length is 0. That is an empty list. And then we are saying that on that empty list, on the second index, we are putting something, third index, we are putting something, but these indexes do not exist. Therefore, we have to use the function append to put the next number into the list. That's what Gahan has suggested, and that is correct. Okay.
Sir,
Any
can
doubts
we
on
use
this?
another method instead of append?
Okay, let's go ahead. What do you want to suggest?
Sir, diffs equal to diffs plus the remaining.
Okay. Like this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will run this. So there's a type error, can only concatenate list, not integer to list. So this integer cannot be, so we can do something like this. This kind of thing we can do to make it a list. Let us see. This is also going to work. So this is a list, which is an empty list. To the empty list, you're concatenating the next number, but as a list.
Sir, I
That's why it
used
is
this method for the factors. Getting factors of a n
okay.
number in the inside the list.
Okay. That it has worked, right? So you're able to run it correctly, right?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So we have, so now we'll check with something which is an incorrect answer. Okay. So this is a false array. So this array we have seen is not contracting. So we'll update my list to this array and see if it works. So same thing, no changes. I'm going to hit the run button. It's saying false. So you either do this or you append. Okay.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yes, yes, please ask me.
Sir, if the my list is length less than 3, what will happen? The elements are not decreasing. Can you
Okay, okay,
put
fine.
like that?
Okay, okay. So let us take two numbers in the list. Okay. And now I'll hit the run button. So it is giving true because we have said that there is a base case for handling corner cases. So whenever the length is less than 3, it is returning true from this part of the code. If I have a single number, then also same thing will happen, I believe. Yes, true.
I'm asking the my list, can you put the two elements in the ascending order, not in the decreasing order?
Just a second. Like this?
No, only 3 elements. Okay.
Wait, what has happened? Is it contracting? 1, 1. Okay. So 1, 1 is not contracting. We want strict contraction. So one difference is 1 comma 1. If the difference is 1 comma 0, we will say it is contracting. Like if we make it 2, then it will be contracting. But if we make it 4, then it will not be contracting. Okay, let's try with 2 duplicate numbers. Then it is contracting. So first difference is 1. Second difference is 2 comma 2, 0. Yeah, so Gahan is right that no need to use the base case, but I have put the base case so that things become clear. Okay. Because anyhow, at the end, it is going to reach this part. The line number 16 will be hit anyway, but I have put the base case so that if there is a larger piece of code and people don't put the base case, the corner cases can yield some issues. Is that all right, Gahan?
Sir, shall we check on false case?
Yes, go ahead. You give some
Sir,
numbers.
around 10, 7, 2, 1.
Okay, so first difference is 3, second difference is 5. Then there is a problem. Immediately there is a problem. 3 to 5. We'll see. It works, gives false.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir. From the 13th line to the 15th line, we are running an for loop. If it is
Okay.
false, it will return false. And
Yes,
then
yes,
we are stating that return true in the 16th line out of the
yes,
for loop.
yes,
So if the loop ends anyway,
yes.
we will be getting true anyway.
No, no, see,
Um,
whenever there is a return statement, the program terminates. So if for any reason this line 15 is executed, the line 16 won't get executed ever again. That program will
so
terminate there.
if I give print false instead of return false, the return true will execute anyway. Am I
Yes,
correct, sir?
yes, yes. You cannot print. If you return, then only you are terminating the program.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So Vishwa is
Sir,
saying that,
hello,
yeah,
sir.
go ahead.
Can you give the my list element as 4 to 9?
Okay.
Only 3 elements. I am not getting the 7 and 8 lines. I can't the base condition. I can't getting it. So that's why I am putting the elements like this.
So Salma is saying the three numbers are 4, 2, and 9. So 4 minus 2 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 7. So this is ascending. This is not contracting. So we have got false because it is not contracting.
So what will happen if my list is 2, 4, 6, 8?
So 2, 2, 2, 2. So this is not contracting. This is same thing. Oops.
So but it is giving true.
Okay, so let us check this thing. So we have said that if the differences are strictly, yeah, so if the differences are strictly decreasing, then we will say false. Okay, so what will happen here? So consider the first difference. Diffs 0 is 2, diffs 1 is also 2. When we have this line, diffs 0, is it less than diffs 1? So is 0 less than 0? No, that's why it is saying true. So you can decide. So for example, if you want to make it equal, it's up to you. So then it will become false. So it is up to you it's up to your convention how you want to decide what is contracting. So what is the question? Let's look at the question. What is the definition of question? So if the absolute difference between each pair of elements strictly decreases, if it is strictly decreasing, then you want to say it is contracting. Okay, so you should put equal, then only you will say false. Okay, yeah. So you look at the question. So the question is saying that if the absolute differences are strictly decreasing, then only you call it contracting. Otherwise, if it is even equal, you call it not contracting. So I'm saying false. All right. So Vishwa is saying that, sir, if we assign a difference value to a new variable in descending order, we can check its value in an if condition to determine whether if it is true or false. Okay. So I'll read it once again what Vishwa has written. If we assign a difference value to a new variable in descending order, okay, we can check if its value in an if condition to determine whether it is true or false. Yeah, I think you can do all these things as well. I don't know. There are many ways to do things. Okay. Is there anything else on this program? Okay, somebody has said that running time, no? Who is this person? Harin is asking how to make this recursive. Yeah, all these questions we cannot answer immediately. But somebody was asking about running time. I'll just check the chat once again. So Vishwa is saying that if we use two loops, the time complexity will increase significantly. No, it is not increase significantly. So how many times the first loop is running? It is the length of L minus 1 times. Then second loop is also running length of diffs minus 1 times. So what is the length of diffs? It is 1 less than the length of L. So the running time will only double, which in computing terms doesn't matter much. So what is the overall running time of this program? The overall running time is what we call order n. So I'll write this down. Just the overall running time is, we call it order n, where n is the length of the input list. Because how many times this loop is running? At most n times. This loop is also running at most n times. And within that, we are just doing an addition and probably some comparisons. So some 2, 3 times n. So some linear function in n. Okay. Theta n. Yes. We can also say it, if the lower bound is also n, then we say it theta n, but it's nothing to worry. Anyway, so this is the first question. All right. So we'll move to the next question. So I will give you a 5 minutes break at this point, but I will show you the next question. I will also show you the third question. Okay, so you read this question, we take a 5 minutes break. Okay, so we break now. And we are going to be back at 6:09 p.m. Okay. Okay, so I hope that you had a chance to look at the question. Who is this person? Arun Ram, you have a question? Arun?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Okay, so any suggestions? What we should do? So I'll explain the question. So you will be given as input another course classes. Okay, great. Will be given as input a list of integers. Okay, and you have to write a function count HV that will take this list L. So what is count HV? Count hill and valley. Okay. So what is a hill? So a hill, Li, the ith number in L is a hill if it is strictly greater than its neighbors. So what are the neighbors of Li? Li plus 1 and Li minus 1. So for example, in this array, how many hills are there? The first number doesn't have two neighbors, so we don't worry about it. We start with the second number. It has two neighbors. One neighbor is 1, the other neighbor is also 1. So is it a hill?
It is a hill.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is a hill because both sides we have smaller numbers. Okay, 2 is larger than both 1 and 1. Okay, now we're looking at 1, both sides we have larger numbers, it's not a hill. We'll look at 2, both sides we have, no, one side we have smaller number, one side we have larger number, it is not a hill. How about this 3? Is this a hill?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because both sides are smaller number. The next one is one side is 1, smaller, other side is larger, so it's not a hill. 1 is again not to be considered because it doesn't have two neighbors. So how many hills we have counted? We have counted 2 hills. Therefore, the return list has the first number 2. Similar definition of a valley. A number is a valley if it is strictly less than its neighbors. How to submit programming assignments, sir? Okay, we will show you. So in this array, we will count what are the values. So we'll start with the second number. It's a hill, we know. Is this a valley? This number 1?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
Salmavi
sir.
is right. Why is this a valley? Because
It is strictly less.
strictly less than both the neighbors.
Yes, sir.
And I don't see any other valleys. Is there anybody who sees another valley other than this number? Okay,
The
so there is
two
only one valley.
between, sir, the
Yes, sir.
2 between 3 and 1, sir.
Two
So
is not less than 1.
both numbers should. Okay, so is 1 larger than 2?
Sir, not that 2, sir, the second 2 after the 3.
Okay,
It's still greater than the one on the right side.
so a valley is a number which is strictly less than both of its neighbors. So now 2 is less than 3, but is it also less than 1?
Sir, no, sir, no. Okay, okay, sir. No.
Okay. Okay. So I see only one valley, and that is the answer as per this question. So there's a Rohit. Last time I have submitted, but because of some problems in execution, oops. Oh, sorry. Uh, I was trying to read that message, but I somehow clicked. So has my video frozen?
No, sir.
Okay. So somebody is having some issue with programming assignment submission. Why is that? I'll just take a look at it for a moment. So this is a present programming assignment, and you select your language. It gives you an editor, and after you write your code, you can compile, run, save as draft. You can submit also. Submit button is also there. And what is the issue, Rohita? If your program is full of error, you have to correct it. So you try to compile it correctly. Like this is what we are showing in the assignments, this discussions, how to write correct programs. Okay. So I hope you will be able to carry it out. So we follow, try to follow what we are going to do. For example, we are going to solve this question. We are going to write some code for this question now. Okay. So you follow along. We'll be able to fix it. We don't have separate spaces for questions. Oh, let us see if that is true. So this is question number 3. Question number 2. This is question number 1. Okay. Is she saying that? Okay. So how
Sir,
do I submit?
we have to add all. We have to paste the programs for the all 4 questions, sir. 4 or 3 questions. Because the public cases, it takes the function name as a for the checking. So we
Okay.
have
Okay.
to
Okay.
specify the function name itself.
So you just have to write the functions and make sure that the function name is correct. Okay. And then you copy all your 3 codes one by one followed by the other. That is what Surya is saying, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The instruction says that you can write all the programs in the single box.
Okay. It's clear instruction. Please read the instruction. Please read the instruction correctly. So now we are going to write a program for this. But in execution, problem is concerned. In execution, you have to fix the errors.
For that, I will tell you one thing. First, you got the logic from the question. Then you can write it on a paper what the function you are going to do, and you can try it on any other platform like Jupyter Notebook. And sir is using one platform, online Python. There you can write your program, and you can run it there. Then they will show you if there is an error. They will show you there, and then you can avoid the input and printing statement. That is clearly they are saying in the instructions. For the printing statement you should avoid, and then you can paste it, copy there and paste it in the window here, then and compile and run. Then the public test cases they will show you you passed, then you can submit. That's how I used.
Okay. Thank you for the input, Salmavi. I think it's Salmavi. So you can follow what she has said. So we will go and we will implement this function count HVL. Okay. So I'm going to copy this count HVL. This is what I have to write. You have to be very careful while writing the functions that the function name, as Surya has suggested, must be correct. Okay. So I'm going to show you this second question for today. We'll finish it in 10 minutes so that we have enough time for the next one. So this is week 3, question 2. So I'm going to write a function. Okay, this way. All right. And what does this function do? So this function, I'll just write its purpose also. It counts the number of hills and valleys in a list L. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So I'll make it slightly larger. Okay. So initially I'll set, so I'll have a variable hill count. I'll call it HC. Initially I set it to 0. I have a valley count. I also set it to 0 initially. Okay. So these two things together also I can write. These two things together also I can write as this. Hill count is equal to valley count equal to 0. This is the initialization. So there is a question from Gahan. You were saying that how to initialize n cross n array. So I'll show you, Gahan, how to initialize an empty n cross n list, but you follow along. Okay. So we have to write, we have to count. So to count, the first thing that comes to your mind that we have to scan the array. To scan the array, what should I do? We have to write a
For loop.
for loop. Okay. So for I in range, in what range? So to
1
scan
to
the array,
length of L minus 1, sir.
okay. So we have to write some range. So for example, let us also, okay, let me start with the sample, this thing, a sample list also. So I have a my list, and what are the numbers I had given? So this is their sample. I'm going to take this. Okay, so my sample, my list is this. Okay, so in this case, how many numbers are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So length of L. Okay, so okay, let's call it. I have to call my list also. So what I will do is I will print. I will print this whatever it will return, right? So I will print count HV my list. Okay, this is calling thing. So when I do this, I pass this parameter my list. It has 7 elements. So length of L in this case will be 7. So length of L minus 1 will be 6. So I will range from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so what is the length of L for this array?
7, sir. So 7 minus 1, 6.
6. So this is the
6.
values. This is the values we'll get. So this is for my purposes, for my understanding. I am writing that okay, I is going to take these values. This is for your own understanding. If you don't write these things, that is all right. Fine. So what shall I do inside the loop?
Sir, we have to give two conditions, sir, in the if cases using and.
Yes. So for every Li, I have to check whether it is greater than Li plus 1, and we have to also use an and operator, and we have to also check other thing is what L is
LF5 is less than.
Greater than I minus 1.
yes.
Sir, if we give this condition,
I
we
minus.
have to change the range from 0 to 1, sir. So that the range will begin from the first to the length of L minus 1.
Yes, so we cannot have 0. See, if we start from 0, then how will L minus 1 work? I minus 1 work. So when I is equal to 0, then what is I minus 1? Minus 1. So L of minus 1 will generate an error. So I should ideally start from 1, the second element. The first element is not our concern. It doesn't have two neighbors. The last element is not our concern either. So I will start from the second element and scan till the second last element. So I should start from where? The
Modify
second
one
element.
L length. Yes.
So I say that starting index is 1 and I go till the second last element. And what am I checking? Am I checking? So in this condition is for valley or this condition is for hill?
This is for hills.
Yes, this is for hill. So I'm checking whether I am greater than my neighbors, whether I am higher than my neighbors. If I'm higher than my neighbors, then I'm a hill. So this is checking for hills. Okay. So if it happens, then what I will do? What should I do inside this lift?
HC plus equal to 1.
So I have to increase the hill count. So initially I said that look, hill count is
Equal to
0.
HC.
So I'm saying that, okay, now add one more hill. Okay. A similar thing, exactly similar thing I can do for counting the valley. Okay. So if Li is not greater than Li plus 1, okay, is this okay? Are they asking for strict greater than or not? Let me check. Yes, they're saying strictly less than means valley and strictly greater than means uh, hill. So strict condition. So therefore, I have not given equal to. It is greater than only. All right. So otherwise, if this hill condition is not satisfied, then what will write? I will write an else if thing. This is an else if condition. I will check that if Li is strictly smaller than its neighbors. Is it strictly smaller than its neighbors? Then I will count. Then I'm checking for
VC equal to VC plus 1.
yes, yes, yes. Yes. So now I will increase the valley count. As simple as that. What is the next thing? One more line is
Sir,
required in this.
condition L of I should be less than L of I minus 1 second. You written both same.
Oh, okay.
Line number 6.
It's a typo. Thanks for pointing this out. Whoever, who was it?
Venkat, sir.
Venkat. Thank you, Venkat, for being attentive. All right. So is this the end of the function or something else is required?
No, sir. Return
Return
statement
the
will
count
be
will be required.
Return
We should retain the hill count
HC
and valley
return
count.
HC and VC.
Yes. So what they're expecting? Their expectation is that here are the some examples to show you how your function should work. So it should return a list HC comma VC. So you should return something like this, something HC comma
We
VC
should
is
store
clear
that
also.
in another variable known as list. We should define an array
Okay.
by storing that.
Yes, but that is also true. But in Python, we have the liberty to write things this way also. We can also write this way. That is also fine. So this is also going to return a list of two numbers, HC followed by VC. All right. You can do it the way you are saying.
single
By
bracket we don't need in return statement.
here I am returning a list. So this is returning a list. Since this is returning a list, that's why I have given this square bracket.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I think she's asking if the list bracket is also must be within a single bracket. And
Oh no, no,
per
this is fine only. You can do it. If you do it, if you parenthesis, she's talking about parenthesis. You can do
yes,
it, but without this also it will work, I believe. Let us see. We'll see that also. Fine. Okay. So is there anything else we have to do?
I have a question here, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
So in the starting, you have written HC equal to VC equal to 0. So whatever the value of HC and VC will come, that will be always equal to each other, or it will be a different?
Different. There are two different variables and there are two different copies are made. Good question. So is this referencing or is this uh, making copies? I think it is going to make copies. We'll see. So now I'm going to hit on the run button. I've got 2 comma 1. There are two valleys. Sorry, there are two hills and one valley. So now if I use this parenthesis, will it work? I think that should also work. We'll see. This is also working. If you don't, if you want to be very precise and if you want to be very risk free, then you can do it like this. All right.
Sir, and
So
then HC and VC some names we given for initialization. That's not a list, so it will not make copies, I think.
Yes, they are integers, so it
They
won't
are
make copies. It makes
yes,
copies, it won't share the same location.
It must share different memory locations. Otherwise, whatever is in HC will be referred by VC. And it's integer, so different memory locations should be made. Someone removed me. Is it happening to you that someone has removed you? Arun is saying that someone
Excuse
removed
me,
him.
sir. Yesterday we had one problem solving section. There, the members are removed multiple times. Me also around 10 times I removed. And at last, one guy, he named exactly like my name. He copied my name and he's playing some background noises. And he's misused my name. So don't do this, guys. It's a humble request.
So it is very shameful. I say I can preach you, but I think I do not have given you the permission to remove people. So the way I have set up this meeting, that the permissions are very limited for the participants. But if I catch somebody doing any mischief, I'll immediately ban that person, and that person will never be able to enter the meeting again. All right. So at this age, when you were doing bachelor's and you were out of school, I expect some more responsibility from your side. Okay. So is there any other question on this? Otherwise, we'll move to the next question. So I think the next question will require me to use the pen. So I'm showing you the next question. I will use a pen probably. So if required, I will use a whiteboard. Let us see. I'll let you read it for some time. So here I will answer the question which Gahan was asking, that how to initialize n cross n uh, list. We'll do that. So you can see that they have initialized like this. So this is initializing a 3 cross 3 list. Okay. So the first row of the matrix is in a list. The second row of the matrix is another list. The third row of the matrix is another list. So you have been given an instance of a matrix. Okay. It's an n cross n matrix. And you have to write a function left rotate that takes a list representation of the square matrix, and it rotates the original matrix counterclockwise by 90 degrees. Counterclockwise. So what happens when you move things counterclockwise? So you will get something like this. Yeah. So you're following the direction to the contrary of the clock. So one is coming downwards here. Two is following, one is coming here. So are you able to understand that if you move counterclockwise 90 degrees, then this array will be transformed to this array? If you can understand it, then I will not use whiteboard.
We understood, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you understand that what needs to be done. So here is an example. If you have a 2 cross 2 array, first row is 1 2, second row is 3 4, then the first row becomes 2 4, and last row becomes 1 3. Okay, what is it? I see some messages. Have you made sure you have submitted the assignment after compile and run? All right. Some other discussion. Yeah, so we have to exactly write a function, so first I will copy what is the name of the function that we have to be careful. Left rotate m. This function I have to write. So I'll copy this. Uh, so this is going to be slightly larger program. But anyway, so we have W3 Q3 week 3 question 3. So I have to define a function left rotate. It takes a matrix M, okay, for left rotating matrix. Okay. Sir, please check the submission once. How can I check the submission? I have no rights or I mean, I don't have the permission to check submissions. My responsibility is limited to conducting the problem solving sessions doubt clearance. You have to write an email to NPTEL or just post your query in Q&A. I'm not able to help you. So Gahan is saying when we run the program, where is it? When we run the program, we will need an empty matrix to store the new values. Yeah, so you can make it 0, 0, 0. So what you are saying is, so if you, for example, I set a matrix to like 0, 0, 0, comma 0, 0, 0, comma 0, 0, 0. So this is a 3 cross 3 matrix initialization. All right, Gahan.
Sir, will this print like a mathematical matrix?
Okay, let us check that. So we'll define the left rotate later. Let's print this matrix first. Oops, indentation error has taken place. So yeah, I mean, let's make it comment. Didn't realize that there is a function there. So this will print like this. You have to understand this is the first array, this is first row, this is second row, this is third row. Yeah, go ahead. Harini, you have raised your hand. Nishkarsh. So how is it counterclockwise? Okay, so I'll explain. So let me explain left rotation. Okay, so before we going further, so let us say, okay, so we will look at it this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the input matrix, let us say. Okay, so if I left rotate it, what will happen is 90-degree left rotation. So uh, so imagine a square, you are moving the square. So this corner, this is the top right corner. After 90-degree counterclockwise rotation, the top right corner will come to the top left position, and the top left corner will come to the bottom left position, and the bottom left corner will come to the bottom right position. So what will happen is it will become 3, 6, 9. So this has come here, and so I'm trying to imagine the second row. So let's imagine the last row, that is easier.
258 will be the second row.
258. 258.
2,
258.
yes, 5. This thing is coming here, 8. Oops. Yeah.
147.
And it
147.
is, yeah.
147.
Yeah, so with the whiteboard it seems easier. So you just rotate things. So 5 is not going to move. 5 is at the center, but the remaining things at the boundary are sort of moving the way I described. So the remaining things at the boundary are sort of moving 2 steps. So wherever 3, it is moving 2 steps coming here. Wherever 2 was, it is moving 2 steps and coming here, and so on. Is that fine? Okay.
So we are going to replace the value of the 1 to the value of 7 in that matrix. Am I correct, sir?
Yes. So you have to set the first row to 369. So you should be able to replace 1, 2, 3 by 369. You should be able to replace 4, 5, 6 by 258 and 7, 8, 9 by 147. That's what they have done, I think. Yeah. 369, 147, 258. That's what they have done. All right. So now we're ready. We're ready. So now we're ready to define the function. Okay. So first thing is how to initialize an n cross n matrix using loop. I don't know what is just a second. I don't know what you were saying. So I will initialize like this. One can do it using a. So if you want to do it, so let's park that question how to initialize an n cross n matrix using whatever. We will come to that question after we finish this question. All right. Okay. All right. So first thing is we have to go row by row. First thing is, what is the first information we should? Where is counterclockwise happening? So she's not able to understand counterclockwise. So counterclockwise is, say clockwise is, I'm not able to
It's
show
like
you.
anti-clockwise.
Yeah, counterclockwise means anti-clockwise. Clockwise means in the direction of the clock. All right. Okay. Arun is saying okay. Thank you.
But sir, first we have to ensure that the given matrix is square matrix or not. For
Yes,
that
yes,
we
yes.
have to given the line.
Yes, yes, yes. That is true. So yeah, some sanity checks are required. Okay. So the way they have given you the question, they will always give you a square matrix, but you should also check whether it is square matrix or not. So how do you check? So let me ask you that. So how to check if M is a square matrix? What is a square matrix? The number of rows is equal to the number of columns.
If the number of elements in a list is equal to the total number of the list, it will provide that it is a square matrix.
Okay. Let's do one thing. We'll print the length of M. What will be the length of M in this case?
3.
Why 3?
3.
Because there is 3 nested list, but each nested list is an element of the outer list.
Yes. So there are how many elements in the list? There are 3 elements only. Each element in turn is a list. That is a different issue. But there are only 3 elements in the list. So the length of M, let me run it. Okay. Okay. So if I have to also call it, right? So what I will do is I will call this guy. So I'll say print. I'll just call it for now. Left rotate with M. I'll just call it for now. Okay, now we will be able to see.
Left rotate matrix.
Oh, I see. So length of the matrix is 3 because there are 3 elements. So when you see that the length of the matrix is 3, that means you counted the number of rows or the number of columns. So length of M is what? Is it number of rows in the
Number of
matrix?
rows we have counted.
Yes, we have counted the number of rows. So now we also want to count the number of
Length of m of 0 we should count now.
yes. So how many uh, uh, elements are there per row? That is the number of columns. So it is 3, but it is not necessarily true that all the uh, rows will have equal number of columns. So somebody
So
can
we
be
have to check the
mischievous and give us,
quality of.
yeah,
We have to check the quality of all the three lists also in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
line 4.
yeah, yeah. That's what you have to do. So yeah. So how to check? This is a square matrix. Is not only checking whether length m is equal to length m0. We should also check. We should have a loop. You understand? So we will do something like this. Although it's not necessary, your input is going to be given in the correct order, but it's a good sanity check. So what should I do? I should write a for loop. So I should write a for loop for I in range. What should be the range?
From 0 to length of m.
Yes. How many rows? For each row, I want to know that in each row, how many elements are there. That's what I want to know. So I should check. What should I check? If length of m is same as the length of mi. So I should check that whether in each row there are exactly that many elements equal to the number of rows. This check I should have. So for whatever reason, if this equality is not matched, okay, so if this is not true, then I will say that there is no way I can solve this question. I will return. I will say that sorry, I'm going to return. All right. Does this make sense?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I call this with this matrix, it should return, and I'll just say maybe I'll just say return. I'll just say return not a square matrix. Okay. Okay. What is the problem? Oh, it is not
You had
printing. I
not
have not
printed
printed.
the
I have not printed. No.
left rotate called.
Yeah, yeah. I have no. I just simply called. So if I print it, it will be fine. So it's not a square matrix. So fine. Good. All right. So this is the first thing we have checked. All right. So now we'll do the primary calculation. So every row we should be able to rotate. So first thing is to count how many rows are there. So I will say that length m is actually the number of rows. So rows, I'll just say, I'll be more specific. I'll say it's number of rows. So it's counting that how many rows are there. Okay. Fine. Now what I should do? So I will probably need a pen and paper to. Where is this? Yeah. So this left rotation operation can be thought of as taking transpose followed by reversal. Okay, so I will use this whiteboard now. Can I use whiteboard here? Just 1 second. You're able to see whiteboard kind of thing? Okay.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. So So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll make it slightly larger. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I will take, let me use this thing. Oops, just a second. Yeah. Please mute yourself. Don't force me to suspend you from the meeting. So I'm taking a transpose. All right. So anybody knows what is a transpose? What is the transpose of this matrix?
Sir,
It's
interchanging the rows and columns.
1, 2, 3.
147258369 row is.
Yes. So it's interchanging. It's interchanging the rows and columns. So
But
1, 2, 3 is the first row. It will become the first column. Okay. Then the second row is 4, 5, 6. So 4, 5, 6 will become the second column. So this is the transpose operation. All right. And 7, 8, 9 is the third row, the original matrix. So this is the transpose. Okay. And if I, so remember what is our output? What is the output we are expecting? Our output we are expecting is 3, 6, 9, 2, 5, 8, and 1, 4, 7. 3, 6, 9, 2, 5, 8, 1, 4, 7. So what you have got is basically the same set of rows, but they are in the top to bottom to top order. So now you have to make it top to bottom. So now I will call this. Oops, just a second. Oops. So I will do an operation, and in that operation, what will happen is I will move this row at the top, and the last row will become the first row, and the first row will become the last row. Okay. So now consider this picture and this picture. So have I, so these two operations. So I will name this operation something. So let me name it first. So I will call it uh, reverse column operation, or you can equivalently call it swap first row to last row to third row. Swap first row and third row. So you can either call it swap first row and third row, or you can call it reversing columns. So what is the first column? 1 to 3, it has become 3 to 1. Second column is 4, 5, 6, it has become 6, 5, 4. And the third column is 7, 8, 9, it has become 9, 8, 7. So after doing this transpose operation, you do another reverse column operation to get what is our expected output, which is the 90-degree. So this is what? This is the 90-degree anti-clockwise. Oops.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, will it be true for the 4 into 4 matrix?
Just a second. 90-degree anti-clockwise rotation. Okay. So will it be true? So is it true for the first? Let us see. Is it true for the 3 cross 3 matrix? So here's the question. Is it? We are running out of time. We have to finish it in 10 minutes. Is it true for 4 cross 4? Okay. So I will write a 4 cross 4 matrix. I am writing using letters so that it's easier. So first thing is you do the transpose. So what happens after transpose? You get so the rows.
So it's not
Sir,
4.
4 cross 4.
Oh,
So 4 cross 4 matrix.
A B C D F G H I J K L M N O P. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P. Okay, this is first operation. Okay, and then the second operation is reversing columns. So ABCD will become D C A B A. Okay, so E F G H I J K L M N O P. Now you compare this with this. So every letter has sort of moved 3 steps in the correct direction. So A has come here, E has come here, I has come here. So you try to compare these two and convince yourself whether this is working or not.
It's working, sir. It's working.
It's working.
Okay. Anybody has any confusion? So instead of doing this 90-degree anti-clockwise rotation in one go, I'm going to do it. So you can do it in one go. I can do it in one go. I thought that it is easier to do it in 2 ways, in 2 operations. So I divided this. This is called transformation. So there's one operation. I transformed it into 2 sequential operations, but one can do it very well in one go also. Now I will write the program in next 2-3 minutes. That's we are going out of time.
Sir, can we use a separate function named transpose and call it inside this left rotate function?
Yeah, we can do it. We can do that as well, but now I will just do these operations within the same function. Okay. So first function is, so what is my first function? My first step is taking transpose. Step one is, oops, why is I sent first step one is take. So you already know, I don't know if you have written a program to take transpose, many people have written it. I will quickly write it. So for I in range, number of rows, oops, number of rows, what we have to do for j in range. So we'll start from the I plus 1th. So that is how transpose is taken to the number of rows. I am just going to do what is called a swap operation. So I'm going to take this matrix as ijth element, and the ijth element I am going to set it to the jith element. Okay, and in the same go, in a different line I can write, but I'm writing in the same line. The jith element. No, I cannot write it in a different line. This swapping has to be done. So this is called swapping, and in Python we can do swapping this way. So a comma b is equal to b comma a is swapping. Okay. Same I comma j. So what is the so what is the use of line 10?
You simultaneously assign and interchange.
Sir,
Yes,
in the left
interchange.
side, we have to assign on another
Swapping.
square Left side, sir.
Oh, okay. So this is this swapping two numbers. Okay. It will change the original matrix. We are doing it in place. We are doing it in place. We are going to change the original matrix without introducing an auxiliary matrix for our help. So the same matrix we are going to change. Okay. Got it. So this is the transpose operation. We have performed the first part. So the first part is done. Hopefully after this operation, I have gone from this matrix to this matrix. Now I have to do this part. So this part you try to think for 1 or 2 minutes. We are going out of time, but we should be able to finish in next 5 minutes. So how we shall do is a reverse column operation.
So directly swapping the
Middle
rows.
column, middle row is same as it is transpose of matrix. Only first row and third row are different.
So directly we can swap the third row and first row. Like
No,
M
so
of 2 is.
what if this is a 4x4 matrix? It need not be a 3x3 matrix. So don't think that there are 3 rows. So you have to basically do what? Think about this. So from here you want to go here. Okay. So from here you want to go to the other side. Okay. So what you are doing is you consider the first row of this guy,
We are interchanging the
bring it to
first
the
list
last
to
row.
the last list.
Come again?
We are interchanging first list to the last list.
Yes. The first list is going to the last position. The second list is going to the third position. The third list is going to the second position. The last list is going to the first position. That you have to remember. So even if it is 3x3, the same thing will happen. The first one is going to last. The second one is going to second itself. And the last one is going to the first. Okay. So this is the operation we have to do. This is just interchanging of rows. Okay. Now I will write the code. I'll write the code. I will first write it, then I'll explain. Okay. For lack of time, I'll be slightly fast. Basically, we want to iterate over each column. Wait. Over each row. So I'm going to say, so number of columns is the number of rows, so we don't care. Each row slash column. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, so I'll set a top counter, which is equal to the, I'll do it in one go. Okay. So the top is equal to, I want to say top is equal to 0 and bottom is equal to the last one, it is n minus 1, but I can do it in one go also. So this same thing I'll write it this way, bottom is equal to n minus 1, so that there is less number of lines, and then I'm to run a while loop. I'm going to say as long as top is less than bottom, I'm going to do interchanges. So m of, so just swaps, m of top rows jth guy is going to the bottom rows jth guy. Okay, and I want to do swaps, so I will write the same thing. I'll copy this guy on the other side. So I'm going to swap the last row with the first row. So I'm doing simple swap is happening. The second row will get swapped with the second last row. Okay, and then I'm going to increment top to top plus 1. So this is like incrementing top to top plus 1. Okay, and I will increment bottom, decrement bottom to top bottom minus 1. Okay, fine. I'll let you see this.
Sir, in the initialization, n minus 1 you put, where you defined n?
Oh, I mean, number of rows I wanted to mean. Thanks. All looks good. So this is like, so the purpose of this, I'm going to say this. So exchange rows of the transposed matrix. This is what I'm doing here. So you just look at it for 1 or 2 minutes, then we'll run it, and then we'll close the day. Okay, right. So we have to return also, no? So finally, what we will do? We'll return m. After all this, we have to return m. Okay. So let's run this. It should give us the matrix first, followed by the rotated matrix. What happened? Oh, sorry.
There is the matrix M and OP last.
Yeah. I was using variables instead of numbers, thinking that I'm doing math, but we have to do programming. Yeah, so what has happened is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how do you verify this? So let's do it with smaller. So yeah, this is happening. We'll do it with what we can verify. Is it there in the 4 cross 4 matrix is given? No. So we'll verify with this matrix. But it will work for any n cross n matrix. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm sorry I got delayed today. I did not plan it well.
Sir, no problem, sir. We are fine.
Then maybe some people have other things to do. I generally don't like to go overboard for my mistakes. So 36925844147. Let us see. 369258147. 369258147. So this is correct. You can try, you can play around with this. So I'll upload this code and you can play around with this code and try with other larger matrices. Okay. So this is it. You have any doubts, any questions?
Sir, actually, my class will be on every Monday, no, sir?
Yes,
Today
it is supposed to
got
be every Monday. Today is an exception. So this Monday I'm not available. Okay, so
Sir, can you give
Sir,
one
where
minute?
would you keep all the...
yes, please come one by one.
हाँ सर
Yes.
सर एक चीज पूछना था हिंदी में पूछ सकता हूँ
Okay.
सर जो मतलब सर क्वेश्चन जो आएगा ना वो मतलब सर अगर प्रोग्राम आएगा तो मान लीजिए सिंटैक्स एरर हो जाएगा तो उसमें मार्क्स मिलेगा ये वाला मतलब जो ये मार्क्स मिलता है जैसे हम पूरा प्रोग्राम किए लेकिन उसमें से आधा गलत हुआ है तो उसमें आदत सही हुआ है तो उसमें मार्क बिल्कुल नहीं मिलेगा।
Okay, fine. I understood your question. So I will state his question for everyone's convenience. So he's asking that if there is a programming question given in the exam and the program is partially correct, so will partial marks be given? So I have no clue about such questions. I am only conducting these sessions. How the evaluation will take place is completely up to NPTEL, which is independent of me. So you have to write an email.
So normally in the exams, what happens?
I have no clue. I have to write an email. My job is only to conduct the sessions. So these questions I have no clue.
Okay, sir, but the level of question is like that, or high level of question will be asked.
I do
The
not
level
know.
of
I do not know such things about exams. I'm not going
Sir,
to set the
actually,
questions.
sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, I have an one friend who have already written an NPTEL exam. He stated that when he was going to the NPTEL center for the exam, there they have kept an separate computer for each examiners, so they can write the exam in a separate computer system. The catch is they can't move out of the examination window of this system.
Okay. So, but his question
So,
is different. So, what kind of questions will be set? These answers are not known to me. And how the evaluation will take place is also not known to me.
Sir, but the examination there will be only MCQ, no, sir, or programming.
Programs could also be. So, you see, even the programming assignments are there. So, you have to write programs. So, for example, you are expected to write programs like this. So, yeah, so I didn't see this. So, there is a. Okay, so they have defined left rotate in a different way. Okay, so I will share this code also with you. So you're expected to write code like this. So first there is a function followed by another function followed by another function.
Sir, can
So
you
I
share
wrote
your
it.
live link? Where can we access all this?
So there is a. Let me go to the course page. This is the course page. Okay. So in the course page, there is a problem solving session at the bottom left. So problem solving session Jan 2025. You click on that. So you get to see the recordings here. You click on this, the first bullet, and you get to see this page. Here you click here. So here is a presentation foldering. So this part is for me, this third part. So there are three other TAs, two other TAs. So this is TA1. So I do not know. Is TA2. They are updating their stuff. I am updating my stuff. So here
एक बार
you.
मुझे देश का पूरे हिंदुस्तान में हर घर में पैसों के पेड़ लगवा दूंगा। सुबेरे सुबेरे उठते के साथ ही 2000 की पत्ती तोड़ो और पूरे दिन भर खर्च करो और रात को आके फ्री फंड पे पलंग पे आके सो जाओ।
How will I stop this person from talking? I just identify this person.
sorry, Yano, Yono.
Okay, just a second. I will suspend this person. Okay, so what is the spelling?
Sir, YONO.
Okay, so this person I will suspend as soon as the session is over. So I will update all the material in the third part. You look at this third part. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So I think this is officially the close of the session. If there is anybody who has any questions or anything, they can ask me, but otherwise you can leave. So you're free to leave. Thank you for joining.
Please share the link of the sheet which we have opened few seconds ago, sir. Here you saying that I have uploaded my task. So we can
All
able
right, all right. I will how to share this. Okay.
the links are only link in the chat box.
Okay, there's a link here. So I'm copying this link and I'm sending to the chat box.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. So I am still here. Few minutes. If you have questions, we can talk. Otherwise, you are free to leave. Thank you for joining. I'll see you next Monday.
Sir, thank you, sir. The class was interesting as usual. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for your active participation. It is a lot of motivation to have active people in the class.
Thank you, sir. We understood a
sir.
lot.
Thank you, Venkat. Thank you,
sir.
Amia.
Sir, why sir? Next to next Monday, sir.
This Monday I'm not available, so therefore, because I'm not available, I have taken this class instead of that Monday class.
Excuse me, sir. Can you hear
Yes,
me? I wanted to ask, can we do a like nested function is available in Python or it is
yes.
not?
You can call a function from another function. That is possible.
No, nested means function under a function, inside a function.
Yes. We will see these things as the course progresses. Function inside a function.
Okay, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session, sir.
Thank you, Nishkarsh.